Welcome to Rewire Yourself Rich, the podcast for the woman who's done with temporary bullshit mindset shifts and ready for a full nervous system level identity upgrade. The woman who knows she was born to transform the world with her unique superpowers. I'm your host, Kelly Pender, wealth identity rewiring expert, intuitive mentor, and creator of the Rich Coded Method. In our world, we don't manifest like needy ass bitches. We re-encode the big fucking deal wealthy woman back into yourselves. We shift your DNA to remember who the fuck you are. Ready to become rich coded, getting paid to exist? Let's fucking go. Hello, my big fucking deal. I'm sharing the exact process with you that doubled my income. And I went through this exact process around the same time in the summer last year. And let's just spill the tea. So let me take you back. We were about to leave for our family vacation. And I remember thinking, because at the time I was still, right? We talk about deconditioning and we talk about reprogramming. At the time I was still deconditioning from being a strategy slut, right? Seeking safety in everyone else's strategy, seeking safety outside of me, you know the drill, and following the rules of the coaching industry. And I remember thinking, I don't want to keep running my business from someone else's success strategy, from this performing energy, from this proving energy. And you might be like, Kelly, I thought that you fully broke that. I did now. But last year, this was still, I know you can't see me, but you know how I speak a lot about having the energetic internal battle where it's like, I'm no longer proving. Yes, I'm proving. I'm no longer performing. I'm performing right fucking now, right? I was still having that going on. It was like that in, out, on, off. I had that going on in my field, in my energy, and I was so fucking done with it. And I remember thinking, I don't want to keep running my business from someone else's success strategy, right? I already broke free from the sales calls and all those things, but I decided that I want to do it my way. And I knew in that moment that I didn't have proof, quote unquote, or evidence of it fully working out, but I knew and I know that I'm the person that can make anything fucking happen. And so here's what I want you to know. Because when you are deciding to have a different experience, when you are deciding to run your business differently, what's happening is that you're deciding to operate and lead from a different identity, which is amazing. That's fucking everything. But here's what happens and here's what comes up as you are deconditioning from being a strategy slut, which we all know and love. And when you are breaking free from following the rules of the coaching industry, right? What happens is, this is what comes up. You'll start to hear certain things where it's like, price this specific way. People only pay premium when you act premium. People only buy when you insert whatever the fuck rule you heard. Be on, 24/7. On. And it's like, oh my, am I allowed to rest? Am I allowed to take a vacation? What's going to happen when I take a vacation? Nothing. No sales, no money will be made. None of that is true. None of that is true. But that's what your body believes to be true. And that's what your brain believes to be true when this has been how you've been operating and how you've been identifying unknowingly leading your business, right? Your body is like, go, 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 go. We learned to prove our worth. We learned to prove our value. And so we learned to be on so that we truly believe, I'm just going to say it, we believe that being on is the only way that we will receive money. And that's why when you hear, you probably have been hearing me chanting a lot. I put it on TikTok and I put this in my Instagram stories the other day. The more fun that I have, the more money I make. The more fun that I have, the more money I make. And some of you might be like, fuck yeah. And some of you might be like, fuck you. Okay. And whatever comes up for you, that's a reflection of what you believe, how you get to receive. I want you to know that. Okay. And we had this conversation in our mastermind call the other day. And I was saying that, I was like, guys, I don't know how to say this without sounding whatever the fuck or offending anyone. Not that anyone's offended, but I basically said that the way that we came into the industry, the way that we came into the online world and realm of business and coaching, unfortunately, unknowingly, we were programmed and conditioned that being on is the only way that you receive money in sales, right? Which means you have to do something in order to receive. That's all Newtonian physics. That's all A plus B equals C. That's logic energy. Money doesn't just flow in through logic. Visibility doesn't just flow in through logic. Fuck yes, opportunities don't just flow in through logic. Where do they come in from? The quantum. How do we connect to the quantum field? How do we get into the frequency of the quantum to 10x your income and visibility? It starts within the body. But in order to connect to that feeling and frequency in the body that's connected and associated with the quantum field, we have to decondition and reprogram the belief that we only, or you only, make sales and receive money when you do something, when you produce an output, right? And that's why so many of us only feel productive when we're doing something, when we're recording the podcast, when we're sending out an email. And a lot of you, and we had this conversation come up in the mastermind, one of our clients was like, I found myself doing that the other day, and I didn't even want to write the fucking email or send it. I wasn't even connected to my quantum rich coded version. It was such a waste of time. I'm like, yeah, this is something that we're deconditioning. But anywho, this is what we've been shown. This is what we've been taught. And it's not just from the coaching industry. It's not just from the online space. It's what we've been taught. It's what we've been shown since in the womb. And generations and generations and generations back, right? That we must do in order to have. We must do something in order to receive. Now, we are action takers. We are movement makers. However, we don't have to constantly be doing on, performing and proving in order to have more. I'm calling bullshit on that, because I personally busted that belief and myth. And that's not the only way that you receive. And actually, you can receive a shit ton more of wealth, visibility, fuck yes opportunities, of fame when you do less. And when you create safety in your body to receive differently, to be differently, to show up differently, to lead differently. Okay. So anywho, what I want to say, there's so many things coming through right now. I'm like, Kelly, stay on target, stay on the train, but we're derailing because I can tap into some of your energies and I can feel something that wants to come through for you about no longer performing for money, no longer proving your value for sales. Okay. But we'll save that for another time. So at this time, or during this time last year, I was really deconditioning the strategy slut. I was deconditioning I felt this too. I need to be on in order to have, right? And so let me also share with you, I've mentioned a time or two that I'm a projector in human design. I don't have that kind of energetic bandwidth as manifestors and manifesting generators, especially as a mom of two. Okay. And so last year, I didn't want to be on while I was on vacation. Like, fuck no. I'm here to have a vacation, to unplug, to enjoy, and to have fucking fun. Can I also sell on vacation? Sure, if I want to. Not because I feel like I have to, only if I fucking want to. And that is now the standard, right? And so I decided that I no longer wanted to perform for money. I decided that I no longer wanted to prove my value and worth for sales. Like I said, I wanted to have fucking fun and make money my way. Ooh, and make money while I was having fun. And so I got real raw and honest with myself. And the truth was, I was at this point where I outgrew an identity. Okay. I outgrew an identity that was running the show, that was running my business, that was running my content, that was running my sales pages, that was running my messaging, that was running everything that came out of my mouth. I outgrew an identity and I outgrew clients. Okay. And so here's what was happening. The problem, I don't like to use that word, but the quote unquote problem was that my offers, content, and leadership were still speaking to the people that I outgrew. All right. And let me just tell you something that I share with all of my clients, and I'm going to tell with you, or I'm going to share with you. It's okay to outgrow clients. That's not actually a problem. It doesn't mean anything about you. It means that you are up-leveling, you are expanding, you are growing. And so you're going to speak to people who want the same thing as you. Okay. And so what it is, let me say it this way, where you are right now and where you're going, I want you to only speak to the person who wants to fucking go there with you, not the people that you used to work with where they're good where they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's seasons and eras of clients, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people come with you, some people don't. Some people do whatever they want, and then they come back a year or two later or 4 years later, right? And that's okay. It's okay to outgrow clients, okay? So because my offers, my content, my leadership was not speaking to the person that I desired to work with, I knew that I needed to tweak and refine not just things externally, but of course things internally as well. And so what I did is I did this 3-step process, okay? I repositioned my offer completely. I completely repositioned it. And I'm going to tell you something. In order to reposition your offer to speak with the woman that you're like, oh, or the person that you're like, oh my God, you're my dream rock star client, it takes a different identity to do that. It is not your current identity. It is not your past identity. And that's why so many of you are unknowingly still speaking to the clients that you outgrew. Okay. And that's why so many of you aren't repositioning your offer yet, because you feel like you need something first outside of you to happen in order to do that. And that's waiting energy, right? It's not the energy that we want. That's the energy that's keeping you where you are, and it's not going to launch you into where you're meant to go and who you're meant to become. And so I knew that I needed to recalibrate and rewire my identity to future quantum rich coded version of me. And then that's how I was able to reposition my offer, because I could not, I felt resistance. I kept avoiding it. I could not reposition my offer based off of my current identity. It felt very like, whoa, can I really say that? Can I really be this woman? Can I really have people see me this way, be perceived this way, right? That was the exact reason why I wasn't repositioning my offer, because I was afraid to be perceived that way. If you feel afraid to be perceived that way, that means that you need a new identity. You need to perceive yourself differently so that you can reposition your offer, you can reposition your messaging, you can reposition whatever it is that you're running in your business so that you feel safe being seen that way. That's the only reason why you're avoiding it. That's the only reason why you keep putting it off, okay? So that was step number 1. And then step number 2, I doubled and then tripled my prices, my rates. Guess what that required? My body to feel safe doing so. Creating safety in my body so that I could double and then triple my rates. And that's something I also avoided and resisted for a long time, way too long. Okay. And let me tell you something. I like over the past, I don't know, 3-4 years, I've had so many coaches be like, oh my God, Kelly, you're undervaluing yourself. Just raise your prices. And I was like, okay, did I raise my prices by like $5? Why did I not allow myself to raise my prices? Because my body didn't feel safe to do so. Again, my body and my identity did not feel safe to be perceived and seen as the woman who had offerings at that specific rate. So I avoided it because I was too worried about what I thought other people were going to think about me. I was too concerned about waiting for something to happen outside of me to then give me permission to raise my prices. All right. That's step number 2. We create safety. And then step number 3, I went all in, all the way the fuck in on selling this offer. And you know how I shared with you earlier about the pattern that keeps coming up as to why you're not selling out your offer, why you're not shamelessly selling it every single fucking day. And so I went all in on selling this offer, not just for 5 to 7 days. Like I shared with you, I broke that pattern. Okay. And it's interesting because your body, what it does is you'll go in for 5 to 7, maybe 8, maybe 9 days. And then it's like, alert, alert, alert. I need money to flow in. Let me just quick create a low ticket offer. No. I went all the way the fuck in. How was I able to go all the way the fuck in? I got my body on board. I created safety in my body. I got my identity on board to normalize going all in on selling my fame offer. Okay. And what happened is I had my first 5-figure days. And like I said, doubled my income last year. And this doesn't just happen overnight, right? In order for this to actually happen, I'm going to say it again. Our subconscious mind loves repetition. I created safety in my body to raise my prices with certainty. And I created safety in my body to have staying power in selling my high ticket offer with conviction. All right. And I so wish that I knew that I needed to create safety in my body first in order to then make these moves, take these actions, do the damn thing. Because I would have saved myself so many years and probably $50,000 in strategy. Because strategy doesn't allow you to raise your prices. If it did, you would have already done it. Okay? I had to create safety in my body first in order to normalize being seen as the woman who's selling at a specific rate. And this is the exact process that I'm walking you through. It's the same process I go through this exact time of year, right? I'm also refining behind the scenes. I'm also tweaking a little bit. I'm also recalibrating as I up level, as I ascend. This is a process that we do on rinse and repeat again and again and again, right? Year after year around this time of year, summertime, baby. And we're doing it together inside Sold Out Summer. And guess what? We're going to have so much fucking fun because you get to do it your way. It's no longer a one size fits all strategy. It's no longer, let's just do this messaging and copy that sounds like everyone else. Let's just outsource it to ChatGPT because a robot knows better than you. No, it fucking does not. You know. You've always known. It's in there. It's in your cells. It's in your soul. It's in your frequency. It's in your field. We get you in your body to activate your inner knowing, your genius, your brilliance, and we pull it through. That's my God-given gift, secret, wealth weapon. I pull out your genius. It's like I extract it from you, bring it forward, and encode safety in your body and in your identity so that you feel safe being seen as who you are, and not just who you are, but the up-leveled version of you, where we normalize her, where you lead as her, you speak as her, you create as her. And this is what weaves into your copy, your messaging, your sales page or pages, your pricing, your content, everything. And you're ready to go balls to the fucking wall. You're ready to break that pattern of going all in and then taking your foot off the gas. We're done with that. And we're going to create safety in your body to have the staying power in selling out your high ticket fame offer. You're going to feel safe to raise your prices, to sell shamelessly, audaciously. Ooh, next level conviction, unfuckwithable faith, delusional making moves. Here we come. You're going to speak from your next edge. Ooh, actually, this is what happens in my world, and it's the best thing ever. Usually when you come into my world, we birth your next edge body of work. It just organically happens because it's there. It's always been there. But because you create safety in your body and you recalibrate your identity, it's like next edge, next level version of you. Ooh, she explodes because you created the safety in your body. You have the room for it to land because we're no longer like, this better work. Oh my God. We no longer have that tight energy. You know, when you're like Kegeling and you're like, yeah, no, we don't lead from that energy. We have relaxed energy, relaxed root chakra. Ooh, someone quote that. I like that. And you're going to feel safe to create recurring revenue instead of constant on launches, and build a business that compounds instead of constantly restarting month after month after month. Okay. And you're going to attract people who happily invest 5 figures plus because your conviction is locked and motherfucking loaded. Okay. We're going to focus on spending 4 weeks together selling out your fame offer. I'm so fucking excited. Listen, pre-sale ends tomorrow. You can save $666 on pre-sale. Only 10 women in. All right. DM me the word summer to join our 4-week mastermind, or do yourself a favor and DM mastermind to apply to the Rich Coded Mastermind, where you get this program included. And for a limited time, you lock in, so good, one-on-one custom map your fame campaign offer. Okay. I love you. You're incredible. We get to create safety in your body and code an identity that feels safe being seen at this level. It's you. She's here. She's already fucking here. We're no longer resisting. We're no longer avoiding. It's going to feel so fucking good. And I can't even wait. I'll see you inside. I love you. My big fucking deals. Mwah. If you loved this episode as much as I did, please take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram so I can share you and your incredible body of work to my network and celebrate you. And as a special abundance gift, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram, and I'll send you my sexy sales hypnosis to rewire yourself rich in your sleep.